This path will take me to a nice little garden. So here we can see the mansion up on the hill. And here in the center there is like, I don't know what you call this in English. And I also don't know if it used to have a roof or anything. Some cut off feet. I guess this guy has his feet and footprints. I don't know if they're grass or something. Probably. Apparently, I think 40% of all the plants in here are toxic to some degree. Though I think that it's mostly a problem if you eat them. If you touch them, it's probably not that bad. Maybe some, but probably not most of them. Kind of like how this thing here, this big grass, is reddish. Not something I've seen a lot of. Some nice little bushes. That's a very yellow grass. I think there might be a smaller garden out here. So this roses from a class perspective, like a ruling class perspective, or so this is a rose garden apparently. It's kind of funny, an outhouse and some pants. I haven't been here since they did this particular exhibition. I guess they do different exhibitions here, but I think it's the same owner all the time, just different themes. And I guess the different parts are different people. I guess sort of guest artists. That thing almost looks very deep. But it would surprise me if it actually was very deep. This is the guest garden of the year. I do like the brick, the partial brick wall here. This schematic or map seemed to contain more things than this thing, but I think it's because I don't know much about plants and flowers, so for me it's hard to see the distinct groups that is represented on the map. A hidden little garden throne. It's kind of nice, but it's also, it feels like a demo. It's like, here is the demo garden. This is what you can do, but here is just a little chunk of it. And maybe that is kind of what it is too. These designers and artists are creating these little installations, and maybe they also work with landscaping or for a more permanent project. I really like how this little house here just sits in between, or not in between because those two oaks are behind it, but I really like how it's like a tunnel over there with the house in the middle. It's quite nice. This thing is all folded up. I wonder how many of the plants here do that sort of thing. At home I have an Oxalis triangularis, and every night it will fold its leaves and every day it will open. And I imagine that there are other species that do that thing. What is this? This looks interesting. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is probably a spotlight or something, shining up on the tree, perhaps. Though it's full of water inside, that can't be good. And this is a stone. Maybe it's just a piece of art. But it would be really nice if there were some LEDs down there. Let's have a look at the other one. It looks like this one has like a tiny garden under it, but there is nothing there now, nothing alive. And this looks to be, oh, this is a magnifying glass. That's kind of cool. That's quite intricate pattern in that metal plate there. Kind of cool. I wonder who made this thing. There doesn't seem to be any sign here saying who made it. And I wonder what this is. This is almost like it's just a place to stockpile some plants, perhaps. It doesn't really look like it's part of either the garden or the exhibition. Some of those oaks are pretty big. There's a sheep pasture down there. Those blue plants there look nice. I wonder if we can get a closer look and not with the light coming in from behind. Oh, these ones are pretty. I do wonder why they appear so different color-wise. If it has something to do with UV or just that the eye is a bit different than the camera, I guess. These are pretty, I'd say. They have like little horns there. I don't know if insects will crawl in there. Let's turn the light on. Sometimes that looks better. Yeah, these are gorgeous. Have another look at these with the light on. A funnel of ferns. I try to avoid the long grass. I don't want to have ticks. I guess this is part of the exhibition because these have signs saying where it is. Bushes and herbs. Couldn't have titled it better myself. It sure smells like herbs here. Bees. I think they live in that thing, but also over there are some logs piled up with holes drilled into them. And I guess this is some sort of sand garden here. Like, when you just go past these, they don't look very interesting, but if you get up close, I think they have their charm as well. So here is one of these bee habitats. Maybe this is a mosquito pond or something. It's probably not only for mosquitoes though. But they are the worst. Some nice wooden sculptures. Almost like a totem pole, but not with anything to do with Indians or Native Americans. Lots of different stones here. And even some chunks of asphalt. That's funny. Well, that is to me. I'm weird that way. An insect hotel. I guess these logs are also part of the insect hotel. An old tilting tree. Got some nice uplights there. Since I'm starting a lamp company, I tend to look at lights when I see them. Switching to wide angle here, but it's really hard to show how it looks here because there is such a depth here that you don't see in a camera. But maybe if I go sideways, let's do the wide angle, and then if we go back and forth a bit sideways, we can see that there is quite some depth here. And it's also, this is even harder to see because when you're watching a video you don't really know where the gravity is, but now the phone is aligned with gravity. So if I tilt it forward, now it's perhaps 10 degrees or such, maybe a little less. But point is that it goes down there a bit. I would like to figure out a way to make that more obvious when filming. This is pretty nice. I'm going to snap a photo here. So the photos with the wide angle doesn't feel as nice when looking at the phone as the video, and that is because when I take a photo I'll get the full sensor, so I get a square picture, but when I film it will be cropping it to 69. So if I just take my photos and crop them afterwards, I could get the desired effect, because I think it's I don't know, it's weird that removing something from a picture can improve it, but I really think that it does. Here is a nice little resting place, some nice mosaic with little mirrors in. Quite nice, I have to say. Here we come back to the garden. Let's switch to regular camera. We'll walk through here once more. Here I have some concrete faces. Heads on poles. Maybe there is an impaler living nearby. We're back here in the center. So we'll go out from the garden and then we'll end up at the lake if we continue to the right. We came here from the left up by the road up here. And there we have a pun. It says Ekplatsen, the oak, the place of oak, and in Swedish playground is lekplatsen, so it's just an L in front of it, which is like the place of play, but here it's the place of oak. Here is another little installation. Let's see if we can get through to it. They also have lots of different trees here with little signs what sort of trees they are. I don't know if they are perhaps fruit trees of some kind. These look like strawberries. Oh, these have a quite vibrant color to them. Let's lower the exposure a bit there so you see them better. This is quite... I sort of perceive them like this because it's still early in the morning, so... But the phone default settings, it wants to try to make it more bright, more daylight. I guess I could use the other camera mode, the Pro mode, where I can just set the parameters instead of fighting the automatic ones, but it's also kind of nice to not care too much about it. And well, I wasn't even planning on filming all this, I just figured when I was out here that I could share it. These are also very bright. Warning flowers. Here are some pale yellow ones. Now we're leaving the garden, and over the hill here we'll get to the lake. It's so nice to walk downwards this hill. I often come the other way and walk up here, and then I'll really be panting when I get up. Oh, the road surface here is not that good shape, needs to be redone. The mansion is up there, and I can imagine, like if you stand on the balcony up there, that it's pretty nice view from up there, but it's also a pretty nice view from down here. So we have the railroad goes over there, and this is where the steamboats would be, what do you call it, anchoring? Dock? I don't know. They would go from here. That big juicy spider from the other day is not here. Maybe it got eaten by a bird or something, I don't know. Or maybe it hides in a hole. Definitely looked like a hidey hole there. Well, I'll let that spider be. I think that's one of the spiders you don't want to get bitten by. Like, I don't think it's dangerous, but I think it's very painful. think I'm going to snap a few pictures. I think I'll conclude the walk here. Well, obviously I'll have to walk back home, but I'm going to put the phone in my pocket and listen to some music. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the walk.